All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to tackle one of the absolute most important and honestly most misunderstood topics in all of crypto. When you buy Bitcoin or really any digital asset, who actually holds it? It's a simple question, right? But the answer might really surprise you. And getting it wrong? Well, it could cost you literally everything. You've probably heard this saying floating around the crypto world. Ne mate cliché, ne mate Bitcoin. It's simple. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. And look, this isn't just some catchy phrase to put on a t-shirt. It is a fundamental truth. It is a stark warning. And as we saw not too long ago, it's not some theoretical problem. It has devastating, real-world consequences. I mean, think about it. In late 2022, millions of people who thought they owned crypto on the FTX exchange, they woke up one day to find their accounts totally frozen and their assets gone. Just poof, vanished. They had a login, they could see a balance on a screen, but when that company imploded, they learned a brutal lesson. They didn't actually have their Bitcoin. That old saying was painfully true. And that really gets to the core of this whole thing, what I call the illusion of ownership. See, when most people start out, they buy their crypto on a big, shiny, easy-to-use exchange, and they just leave it there. Why not? It feels safe. It feels just like a digital bank account. But what's actually happening behind the curtain is very, very different. Here's the huge disconnect between what you think is happening and what's really happening. You think you have your Bitcoin sitting there all safe and sound in an account that has your name on it. But in reality, what you actually have is an IOU. It's just a promise from a company that says, yeah, we'll give you your Bitcoin when you ask for it. You don't own the asset itself. You are a creditor to that company. And, this whole setup has a name. It's called third-party custody. And it's the default setting for almost everyone who's just getting started. You are trusting a third party, an exchange, a broker, whoever, to hold on to your assets for you. And sure, it's convenient, it's simple, but that convenience comes with some serious hidden risks. And that's where the problem really starts. That easy path, the path of convenience, well, it's often packed with the most danger. So, what are we talking about here? What are these dangers exactly? Okay, let's break these down. First up, you've got hacks. Exchanges are gigantic treasure chests for hackers. They're constant targets. Second, the big one, insolvency. That's exactly what happened with FTX. If the company goes belly up, your assets are just another line item in their bankruptcy court filings. Then there are data leaks. Your personal info can get exposed. And finally, legal seizure. A government can just order the company to freeze or take the assets, and you have absolutely zero say in the matter. So, if trusting someone else is so sketchy, what are you supposed to do? Well, this is where we get to the beautiful core principle of this technology. The solution is something called self-custody, and it's all about taking true, undeniable ownership of your own digital assets. You don't have to take my word for it. This quote from the book, The Bitcoin Standard, absolutely nails it. This isn't just a legal opinion, it is a technical fact. In the Bitcoin world, ownership is not determined by an account name or some piece of paper. Ownership is proven by one thing and one thing only: controlling the private keys. And that right there is what self-custody is. It's the act of holding your own keys. It means there is no company, no middleman, nobody standing between you and your money. You have absolute, final control. You are your own bank. Okay, so you're sold. You want to be your own bank. How do you actually do that? What are the tools you need to really take control of your keys and therefore your coins? Well, it all starts with something called a wallet. Now, generally speaking, there are two main kinds of these self-custody wallets. First, you have hot wallets. These are basically software apps on your phone or your computer. They're always connected to the internet, which makes them great for small amounts and daily transactions. Think of it like the cash you keep in your physical wallet. On the flip side, you have cold wallets. These are special little hardware devices that are kept completely offline. Think of these as your personal vault for your long-term savings. Now listen up, because whether you're using a hot wallet or a cold wallet, this next part is maybe the single most important piece of this entire explainer. When you set up a wallet, you're going to be given a seed phrase. It's usually a list of 12 or 24 random words. This phrase is the master key to everything. It's the ultimate backup. If your phone gets stolen or your hardware device breaks, this phrase is the only way to get your money back. So how you secure this phrase is absolutely critical. This is non-negotiable. Step 1, write it down. On paper, on steel, whatever. Just make sure it's offline. Step 2, store that physical copy somewhere safe, somewhere private, where it won't get lost or damaged. And step 3, and I cannot say this loud enough, never create a digital copy. Don't take a picture of it, don't save it in a text file, don't email it to yourself. If it touches the internet, even for a second, you have to assume it's compromised.
Okay, so this brings up a really practical question that I'm sure is on your mind. You're thinking, okay, I get it. I can start with the hot wallet for small amounts, but at what point do I need to upgrade my security? When is it time to get one of those offline hardware wallets?
A really good rule of thumb is about $1,000. Once your crypto holdings grow to a value that you would be genuinely upset to lose, an amount that would sting, like $1,000, give or take, it is absolutely time to invest that $100 or so in a hardware wallet. It is, hands down, the best security you can buy for your long-term holding. And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most profound point in this whole discussion. Self-custody. It isn't just a technical decision. It's really a philosophical one. It's a fundamental trade-off between freedom and responsibility. So on one side of the scale, you have the promise. True, censorship-resistant ownership of your wealth. Freedom from all those third-party risks, like hacks, bankruptcies, and seizures. But on the other side, you have the price. Total, complete, personal responsibility. There's no password reset button. There is no 1-800 customer service number you can call. If you lose your keys, if you lose that seed phrase, your coins are gone. Forever. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Because as our lives become more and more digital, we're going to face this choice over and over again, in all sorts of ways. When it comes to your wealth, to your financial freedom, what are you going to prioritize? The ease of convenience or the power of control?